In the previous lecture, you have set up the development environment. That is, you have downloaded and installed the JDK 8, then Eclipse and also Apache Tomcat 8. In this lecture, I will show you how to configure this JDK and Tomcat in Eclipse so that we can use them to build our projects from within Eclipse. Start by launching Eclipse from the Eclipse shortcut or using the Eclipse shortcut. It will ask us to choose a workspace, choose a folder on your machine. It could be on your C drive or D drive. Click OK. That will take us to the Eclipse workbench or the home page of Eclipse. The first step is to configure the JDK. To do that, go to Eclipse Preferences. On Mac, we do it by clicking on the Eclipse menu, Preferences. On Windows, you go to Windows, there is a Preferences at the end. On Preferences, here in the filter text, type in JRE. Click on the installed JREs. Here I have my JDK. You can add your JDK by clicking on the Add button, select the standard VM, click on the Next button, browse to the directory where you have your JDK installed, select the JDK directory, not the JDK bin or JDK lib, etc. Directly select the JDK directory. Then your JDK will appear here. By default, if another JRE is selected, unselect it by clicking on this box and select your JDK. The second step is to configure the compiler level. Click on the compiler here on the left and make sure that the compiler compliance level is 1.8 and not anything earlier than that. So we have our JDK set up in Eclipse. The next step is to create a Tomcat server instance in Eclipse so that we can run our application right from within Eclipse. To do this, again, you can go to the servers view. If the servers tab doesn't appear by default, you can go to Windows, Show View and select Servers. Click on this link here which says Add New Server or Create a New Server and select from the options you have, select Apache Tomcat 8. Leave the default options as is and against the server runtime, the third option here, click Add. Select the or browse to your Tomcat home directory and select that home directory and click on Open. So you are telling Eclipse where your Tomcat is so that it can use it to create its own instance of servers. And here for the JRE option, leave the default, let it be the workbench default JRE which we have set up in the earlier step. Click Finish. Hit Next. Here we don't have any web applications yet. This is the page where you can deploy your web applications to Tomcat if you have any. We don't have any, so let's click Finish. That will create a Tomcat server instance within Eclipse. You can right click on the Tomcat instance, start it from within Eclipse, and you can also stop it from within Eclipse. There we go, our Tomcat instance is up and running. We can close it or stop it by right clicking and stopping the server. The last and final step to validate our installation is simply go to the file menu, click New, create a dynamic web project, give it a name, let's say test installation. Hit Finish. We'll have a dynamic Java EE web project here. Go to the web content folder, right click on it, create a new file, JSP file. Let's say hello.jsp. Simply say hello or type in hello, save it, right click on the file, go to the Run As menu, say Run on Server. It will ask us to choose a Tomcat instance, select it, hit Next. As you can see, our web application that we have created is already moved to the right side for deployment. Click finish. Our application will be deployed on Tomcat and the JSP page should come up in the browser. Here is the output from our JSP page. We will be using this setup to come up with our web services applications or any web applications that we will be creating. To summarize, in this lecture, we have configured the JDK and Tomcat in Eclipse. We did it by going to the Eclipse preferences. On Windows, you can go to preferences by going to the window menu and then preferences. Select the JRE first, browse to your JRE folder, then the compiler compliance level, and finally create a server by going to the servers view.